Hi, this is Jake Weiner from Zooz Fitness. We are excited to partner with Inclusion Matters by Shane's Inspiration for their 30 days of play. We're here to bring you some adaptive exercise routines that can be done at your home with no equipment. Follow along. All right, so before we start any routine, it's super important to warm up our body. We have 6 movements that can be done either standing or in a chair. This is all you're gonna need for this workout. So we're gonna start off 30 seconds each movement. I'm gonna show you just a couple seconds of each to give you an idea. I want you to set a timer on your watch or your phone for 30 seconds, and you're gonna do each of these. So there's 6 total. So the first one's gonna be a cross crawl. We're gonna tap our knees, opposite hands, 30 seconds. Now again, if you need to be in the chair, we can do these seated. Crossing over, twisting that upper body. If you can, try to bring the elbow to the knee. All right, so our second one, we're gonna do our windmills. So legs are nice and wide, hands are up. We're gonna come across the body, tap the knee, cross the body, tap the opposite knee. So it looks something like this. And again, if we need to, we can be in the chair, legs out, hands up, coming across either to the knee, or if we can, coming down to the toes. Cross the body. All right, we're gonna come up. Number 3, side steps. We're gonna get nice and low, 2 steps to the right, 2 steps to the left, and you keep that going. And these can be done a little bit quicker. Go at your own pace. Good. If we're using the chair, we're gonna step forward, side to side. Just like that. Good. All right, let's stand back up. Number 4, big arm circles. If these are too big, let's make them a little bit smaller. We're gonna go forward, and then of course, also backwards. Real big circles, working those shoulders. All right, hopefully we're feeling warm. We're gonna start with some standing mountain climbers. Or ladders. I like to do these, really get a good reach, coming up nice and tall. Now if you notice, opposite leg and arm coming up, and I can also look up, try to reach, climb the ladder. Again, if we're doing this seated, same thing, lifting up, reaching up, all the way, opposite hand and leg. All right, and number 6, just our torso twist, upper body, twisting side to side. And again, if we're sitting down, same movement. Twisting it out, side to side. So 6 movements, 30 seconds each. We're gonna warm up and then we're gonna get right into our circuit. All right, so hopefully we're nice and warm. We now have our circuit. Again, 6 movements, only body weight. And I'm gonna use a chair for all these movements. So that's how we make it adaptive. It's really for everybody. So there's no excuse if you have a couch, if you have a bench, if you have a chair, you can do all these movements. 6 movements, and we're going 45 seconds of each. Again, I'll show you a couple seconds of each movement and cue you in on a couple of things to note when we're doing each movement. So number 1, our squat. So we're coming close to the chair, legs about shoulder width apart or even a little bit wider. I like to bring my arms out in front, shoulders back, core nice and tight. I'm gonna come all the way down until I feel the chair, and I stand up, pushing through those legs. Eyes are looking forward, sitting down, pushing up. Make sure when we sit, we don't slouch over. Keep our chest up nice and tall as we press up through those legs. So again, 45 seconds of those. Set your timers. All right, number 2, forward lunges. So I'm gonna move my chair over to the side. I like holding on the chair for a little bit of balance. Forward lunge, so I'm standing up nice and tall. I'm gonna step forward, bending both legs, coming back up tall. Bend, come back up. Alternating those steps. 45 seconds each, using that chair for support. Good. If that's too much, we can always just step forward, and back. So that's exercise number 2 for 45 seconds. All right, let's move on to number 3. We're just gonna jog in place. So pretty easy. Again, we're doing this standing. If you were seated for this, jog it out. Same movements, getting the heart rate elevated a bit, 45 seconds, either standing or seated. All right, let's move on. Number 4, get that out of the dirt. Jumping jack. So we're coming all the way up, all the way down. Now there's a lot of variations to our jumping jack. This is our traditional jumping jack. We can also just step to either side, bring those arms up with each step, left and right. I like to cue clapping at the top, hitting my legs at the bottom. Clap, hit, clap, and hit. If we're seated in the chair, we can do just arms, moving those arms up and down. Same jumping jack movement, minus the legs. If we want legs in there too, good, let's try it together. Good, all the way up, down. So that's our jumping jack, either seated or standing. All right, let's move on to number 5. We're gonna try some jumping patterns. So I like to use my chair, and we're gonna do lateral jumps, side to side, left and right. So I'm holding my chair, I jump left, I jump right. So really bending those knees as I land, side to side. Continue that motion, 45 seconds. If we need to, step side to side. We want to get the heart rate elevated just a bit, breathing a little bit harder, side to side. All right, and let's move on to number 6, our final exercise, our mountain climbers. So we're taking our hands, we're bringing them onto the chair, we're stepping back, keeping that body up nice and strong, arms strong as we're holding. And I'll show you 2 variations. Here's the traditional, a little bit quicker, moving through, trying to keep that back nice and straight. Now if that's a little bit challenging, let's also just step. Step and tap. So that's our variation to a mountain climber. If you need to come to a higher surface, something like the back of the chair, as long as it's sturdy, have someone seated or some weight in the front, we can do the same type of movement, tapping in and a little bit quicker here. All right, so give those 6 movements a try. Again, 45 seconds. Try 3 to 4 rounds of each. You should be breathing heavy. You should be a little bit sweaty. Try that a couple times a week and have a lot of fun. Get your whole family involved. If you want to learn more about what we're doing, you can find us at Zooz Fitness. That's ZOOZ Fitness. Or using the hashtag #JoinTheZoozMovement. Have a lot of fun. Stay healthy.